Hello, everyone. It's Friday, May the 24th. I apologize all over myself for us being so late. My goodness gracious, when I got here, everything in the world has just gone in a bunch of different directions. So a lot of phone calls, a lot of people needed, that I needed to talk to. And so please accept our apologies for being late. Today's a huge day in West Virginia from the standpoint of our contribution from our National Guard. I've got General Crane with us and everything. He's going to talk in just a second, but I've got a proclamation here. But today I am ending the long-standing state of emergency as our National Guard has completed its mission. Now I'm going to sign a proclamation right now that our state of emergency in regard to our corrections folks and everything is ending. And the general's going to talk about that in just one second. But I'm going to sign as we speak, and I want to talk just a little bit more, and then I'm going to pass to our general. But this is the proclamation. You can see my signature and everything. But in the face of real adversity and corrections, 731 members of the National Guard stepped up and gave us, without any hesitation, tireless effort and everything at 17 of our correctional facilities. Since that time, since January of 2024, we have welcomed 238 graduates from our Corrections Academy, with 50 cadets being trained there this month. So this is proof that how we get the job done. We all pull the rope together. In general, I'll pass to you for comments, but listen, I've got to say one more thing. Way before I ever became your governor, I waded a lot of mud with the National Guard, and I saw exactly into their souls just how good they truly are. They have given us so much while I've been your governor, it's off the chart. And way before I ever became your governor. Absolutely, we owe so much to these folks and everything. And General, I thank you again and again. What a job that you do for all of us each and every day. General, please, talk to us.
Hey, Governor, thank you. And, we're just always proud to run to the fire like you tell us all the time. You always tell us to lean forward and do everything we can to help the citizens of West Virginia. And so I'm just proud of the team and the effort that went into this mission. Every mission that we're asked to do, our team always steps up to the plate and just absolutely knocks it out of the park. And so I couldn't be more proud of our service members. Working with Commissioner Marshall, he has done a phenomenal job. He did a great job with the team. Could not be prouder of how well they took care of our members while they were in the corrections facilities and helping with that mission. And what I'm really proud to say, Governor, is 38 of those service members that were in the prison, in the corrections facilities, they're now part of the Department of Corrections. They've taken full-time jobs in those facilities. And so, again, could not be prouder of them. At one time, we had up to 422 of our service members in the correction facilities around the state. That's what we maxed out at any one time. And as you said, 731 have rotated through those 17 different facilities. And so, again, Governor, we're always ready. As I've always tried to lead as you tell us to do and lean forward and try really hard to make sure we're always ready to and prepared for whatever mission comes around. And as you say, we've got to take care of the citizens of our great state. Thank you, Governor.
No, General, you don't need to thank me. God bless you and all those incredible troops that you supervise and look after. What a job. What a job you do over and over. Thank every last one of them from me, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you again.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got some more good news. This one we really didn't think we maybe were going to be able to pull off. But we had separate storms, bad windstorms, bad tornado situations. bad, absolutely rainstorms and flooding and whatever it may be. All that, did we not? And what we tried to do was lump them all together. Lump them all together, and maybe, just maybe, because none of them standing on their own could absolutely qualify for FEMA. And absolutely, we just today I am announcing that we received confirmation that a major disaster declaration has been approved for West Virginia following the severe storms in April. So great, great, great news. All those that were involved in the claims and everything, or in the storms and everything, please contact, our offices, or contact, FEMA or whatever it may be. Absolutely, we're on a way to be able to take care of these unbelievable windstorms and tornadoes and flooding and landslides, mudslides, all this leaving a trail of destruction like you can't imagine. And it's been a rough road, and a lot of neighbors and everybody stepped up to help. But now we can help big time from the standpoint of the federal government stepping in and everything to rebuild and make things better. So FEMA teams will be going door to door in the affected communities and give residents information about recovery resources, and feel free to contact our office, and we'll help in any and every way. Okay, now this one was really tough, but we lost Bob Ashley, and from his beautiful wife Anita and their two sons and 3 grandbabies. We just hate it so bad. This man really and truly made everybody smile all the time. This man carried himself as a gentleman with honor and absolute respect of all the legislature and all of us. I got to know Bob Ashley really well, and I can never do anything but thank him. Thank him for absolutely always being Bob Ashley, being the guy that absolutely rose above, partisan politics, and absolutely always delivered a message of honor and honesty and goodness with a big smile on his face that made all of us feel better. We'll really miss Bob Ashley. And so Anita and all of y'all in this great, great family, be really proud, really, really proud. What he brought to this state and serving our state for decades will never, ever be forgotten. Be really proud of Bob Ashley, as we are really proud of all of y'all. Thank you so much in every way. It's nice to say nice words, but they always, to me, seem inadequate. I don't know what else to do for Bob Ashley, but the words don't seem to be enough. But thank you again. Boy, this one is, just, well, we move on. That's exactly what he'd want us to do, too. I'm announcing today about free fishing days that will return on June the 8th and the 9th, and encourage everybody to get out, enjoy these beautiful waters of West Virginia, and maybe, just maybe, if you enjoy these beautiful waters and are able to catch a fish or whatever like that, maybe it'll touch your life, and then you'll go on a quest and everything through your life like I have. I can't tell you what being able to be on the West Virginia waters has meant to me in my life, and my dad, and my grandfather, and all of our families and everything. It's really, really, really special. So take advantage of those days on the 8th and the 9th. There's a Wing to Wing Foundation that I'm excited to announce, and we got Randall Reed Smith with us today, but that we have accepted a $280,000 contribution from the Wing to Wing Foundation to enhance musical education throughout West Virginia. Randall, come on and tell us more about it, but we continue to try to do any and everything we possibly can do to absolutely perpetuate ourselves, culture, history, our soul. That's what really and truly we're talking about here. Randall, please tell us more.
Hi, Governor. Good afternoon. Yeah, we're here today. We're very excited. 15 years ago, we started the Save the Music Foundation, the Rebuild Music Instrument Project in West Virginia. And, the theme has always been this year, we're going to sprint through the finish. And there's things to get finished and get done. And so we are now at 156 schools with $40,000 worth of free instruments in each school. And that is $6,240,000. So we have a few schools left to do, and I was talking with President Brad Smith at Marshall, and through his Wing to Wing Foundation, he is going to help us finish the entire state of West Virginia. We'll be able to hit 14 more schools, and then we'll end up with a total of 180 schools. So that will all be done by 2007. It's a great contribution. We're so thankful for your support. The legislators have supported this through the years, and so we will have instruments in every middle school in all 55 counties in the state of West Virginia. Thank you, Governor, for your support of this. It's great.
No, Randall, thank you for the years and all the good stuff. We've had a lot of fun together, and we're going to keep having that fun together. So we're going to run through the finish line and just keep making good stuff happen, just like this. And Brad Smith, thank you, sir, and in every way. But all right, I'm going to move on to something else here. We have our Vandalia gathering. The 47th annual Vandalia gathering will celebrate, Appalachian music, culture, and crafts and everything. The festival runs through the weekend. It's more great stuff. Randall, I'm sorry, you can talk to us a little bit about this too.
Okay, Governor, so tonight we start the 47th Annual Vandalia Festival, and it has always been the gift to the people of the state of West Virginia from the governor's office and the legislators to celebrate all of our Appalachian heritage, our old-time music, our culture, our food. And we start tonight with the winners of the quilt competition. We have 48 quilts this year, and you know what quilts mean to our history and our culture. It tells so many of our stories. So come out and join us. It is a 2.5-day celebration. We will have a great time tonight with the opening concert. We announce the winners of the quilt competition, and we announce the winners of the Vandalia winners. So it's a great event. Come and see us at the Culture Center and bring good weather.
Okay, I got to tell you about, Kathy and Communities in Schools and the therapy dogs. We gave away the 27th and 28th therapy dogs. I got to admit, we took off from our home in Lewisburg and ended up in New Martinsville. I'll never forget along the way, and it was a long, long, long ways and everything, but along the way, we came upon a sign that said, Wheeling 37 miles, and I thought, my goodness gracious, we're going to absolutely traverse all across the entire state today. 551 miles in a day and everything, but I drive a lot and everything, but that was a long one. And but we gave away Barney, and I'm sorry, that's Molly, and we had Baby Dog there, and that was at New Martinsville, and what an incredible celebration, and absolutely, the kids were unbelievable. And I mean, that's all there is to it, but all this is just happening all around, and these dogs are so fantastic, it's off the chart. What Communities in Schools is doing is so special, so special. And, you know, if that picture right there doesn't warm your heart, I don't know what will, you know. And so really and truly, what we're trying to do is just enhance and help our children. And boy, I salute Kathy for a great job with communities and schools and all those people that are involved. And so thank you in every way. And then Kathy went on to Parkersburg High School and gave away the 28th dog at that point in time. Its name is Barney. And I had to go on from there to speak at the Game Changers events. And I want to mention the Game Changers and all the great work that they're doing, you know, to try to some way change the direction of this drug intervention all across our land and everything. And what they're doing is really stepping up, saving lives, and really trying to help. And so often, you know, it's just tragic beyond possible belief. I said in the speech that I talked about there, I said, you know, at New Martinsville, there was a little girl, it was two of them, and they came through the line, they were petting baby dog, everybody was going through the line and everything, and hundreds of them and everything. These two little girls, at different times, walked up, you know, these were pre-kindergarten, and they just stuck their arms out like that and said, I want to hug you. And so I picked them up and everything, gave them a big hug and everything, and how precious they are in every way. And I just thought to myself, you know, when these kids were all the way up through the 8th grade, and there's times when really and truly our 8th graders or our 7th graders, that an event happens that is tragic beyond all comparison. But I just thought about these little pre-kindergarten kids and how precious not only they are, but all these kids are. And really and truly, the work Game Changers is doing, the work that Communities and Schools is doing, good gracious sakes of living, the work that these therapy dogs are doing is really, really, really important. So it was a great day, a long day, but a great day, and so let's just keep it up. The Juneteenth celebration is right around the corner and everything. Applications are due by May the 31st. So you know, there's still time to have additional vendors or performers or artists from all across West Virginia to apply to participate. Please do so. This is a great day and absolutely a great event and everything. And so for all those that are putting all this together at Herbert Henderson Office of Minority Affairs, great work, and please sign up and get involved. I guess the last thing I have, which is, I mean, I don't know how it gets any bigger than this one, you know, and that's just this, is Memorial Day is right around the corner. You know, a lot of us associate Memorial Day to the fact that we're going to be with family, picnics, maybe the opening day of how we feel like that summer's on the way. So with all that being said, maybe we just overlook what we should really be doing on this day and celebrate those that provided and gave us everything we have and continue to do so. We should celebrate absolutely our military, the service of those, especially those that gave the ultimate sacrifice. And so with all that being said, take time at least to be thankful. To be thankful absolutely for all those that came before us and all those that are with us right now. You know, and celebrate the contribution that they've given and that they continue to give every single day for all that we have, all of our freedoms, everything that we have, and it will remain this way forevermore. We pray. So absolutely, you know, just have fun with your families, enjoy one another in every way, but at the same time, remember what Memorial Day is all about. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. We'll now go to questions from members of the media. Today, our first question is from Mark Curtis with Nexstar Media.
Governor, good afternoon, and let me just echo your comments about Memorial Day as well as Bob Ashley. What a wonderful man and mentor and friend, and my condolences to Anita, who I know as well, but great service to the state and to all our troops. Thank you. Governor, I want to talk about the state of the emergency ending at the prisons and jails. One of the things that drove this crisis was the fact that neighboring states, our 5 neighboring states, and the federal penal system paid far more money than West Virginia pays our corrections officers. And what happens is we train them here, and then they cross the border into Virginia or Kentucky or Pennsylvania and get paid a whole lot more money. Are you confident with the pay raises that have happened over the last couple of years that we've righted the ship here, or are you concerned the legislature still needs to do bigger pay raises so we keep these corrections officers here and keep the prisons and jails properly staffed? Thank you.
Well, Mark, first of all, say hi to Allie for us, and thank her for her service. But the other thing is, Mark, you know, I sent up for 2 years in a row. I sent up and said we got to do something here, and we got to put in place significant raises, or we got to do this and that and everything else. And we really didn't get it done. And then all of a sudden now, you know, there has been recruitment efforts, there's been pay raises, and at the end of the day, we have made real progress. Do I think we're there? Normally speaking, I would say probably no. And you know, do I think there's more that we'll have to do in the future? Probably so. But with all that being said, we've made plenty of progress. We need to celebrate what we've done, but we don't need to just sit on our laurels and think everything's just going to work out. Because at the end of the day, this is an obligation we have, and these people work in surely a tough environment and everything, and we want to be able to compensate them to where, goodness gracious, we're just not training for other states.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Next, we'll go to Charles Young with WV News.
Hi, this is Charles Young with WV News. Governor, I've heard from some lawmakers that preparations are already underway for a second special session of the year that they're anticipating being called back in August. Is that your understanding as well? Thank you.
Charles, we still got a bunch of money that's out there and everything, and we surely will probably plan to have another special session, you know, to address these huge surpluses that we have at some point in time. I think August makes the most sense to me. But Charles, I got to say this, you know, and I said this in my press release, but really and truly, you know, we have people out there that are really hurting and everything, and we have, you know, a select few that may be in the legislature that roll in down here and disrupt and stand up and want to show themselves and everything else under the sun. And I guess that's their right and everything. But at the end of the day, you know, I truly, I stood for exactly what I thought I should stand for. That's our kids, our vets, our elderly, the hungry, and absolutely, you know, all the other goodness that comes with it, whether it be our highways, our roads and everything, all the different things that make us better, that gives us more and more opportunities in this state. I don't like, you know, when all we do is try to put on a show for somebody, and so with all that being said, you know, finally everybody came to their senses and passed what we sent up there, but it would have been a tragedy beyond belief. And the other thing that is just tragic, and I can't stand it, there's no other way around it. You know, I was in Parkersburg, and I was sitting there with a lot of folks, you know, IDD folks and everything, that things are pretty doggone tough. And why in the world we basically pulled significant money out of my budget in the State of the State address, my budget, you know, why we pulled those dollars out of it, and absolutely those people we came within a gnat's butt, really and truly, of this whole special session just blowing up, and then those people not having funding. We came within absolutely that close to it all blowing up. But first of all, why should those people have been agonizing with all the great work and everything that they do all the time? Why should they have been put through that and then drug up to the 11th hour and maybe it even blowing up? I don't get it. I don't get it. And I don't think that's the right thing for us to be doing in West Virginia. And I said it over and over, but I'm not going to be your governor long. Now, and I would tell future governors and everything else that if we don't watch and we plow paths like this, these are not the right paths in my book. Anyway, that's it.
Thanks, Charles. Next, we'll go to Leslie Rubin with WCHS.
Hi, Governor. I just wanted to follow up on what's going on with the situation involving CPS and the Boone County 14-year-old Kennedy Miller. I've been told by numerous sources that the West Virginia State Police trooper who made the welfare check on Kennedy Miller on March 9th, 2023, drove in his cruiser directly to the DHHR office in Rock Creek immediately following that check and made the CPS referral in person. Have you been made aware of that? Is that true? If so, why has DOHS maintained that no referral was made that day? And also along the same lines in regards to the attorneys who you said about 2 weeks ago screwed up and gave you bad information regarding the case, what information specifically did they give you was inaccurate? Did you believe they lied to you intentionally? And has anyone involved in that situation been terminated or reprimanded in any way?
Okay, you got a lot of questions here to answer, and I'll try to make it as best I can on the knowledge that I have. First of all, I could just say to you the investigation is ongoing and then stop, but I don't do that. You know that. I try to tell you that I am completely transparent. I welcome you to contact any and everybody that you want to contact and ask whatever questions, because that's the way it needs to be, But here's what I know, that there's an officer that says that he drove, I guess his personal vehicle or whatever, and he drove to the offices and went in and made that report. At the same time, there's no evidence that I can uncover so far that a report was made. But but here's, I guess, the best thing that I can tell you on what I know right now is that there's nothing that triggered DHHS, to go to the house. Now, are we going to continue to dig? And if we find, will we make it absolutely transparent as transparent can be? Absolutely. But at this time, and there's no point in asking me about this every 15 minutes because I don't have those reports coming to me every 15 minutes. But with all that being said, absolutely, we will continue to dig and continue to investigate in every way. Now, let's just step back, though, and let's just be fair. And let's just say just this. We lost a beautiful little 14-year-old girl. And Kennedy, what happened there, whether it was intentional, not intentional, somebody should have mentioned it. For crying out loud, there was an assessment part, from homeschooling of 8th graders at the school system. Maybe we dropped the ball there. Wherever the ball was dropped, a 14-year-old kid that was a beautiful young lady is lost. Absolutely, at the end of the day, if people purposefully did not do their job, they need gone. And absolutely, that's why the investigation is ongoing. But more than anything, what we all need to know is just this, that whether it be a grandmother or mother, they're charged, from what I understand. You know, that'll be dealt with. But absolutely all of us should know, and we should all know going forward, that anything and everything you see, that if you see something that you just don't feel right about it, report it. I think there's an 800 number in place and everything to where our state police could have reported. So many different things could have happened here, and with this little girl, things absolutely fell through the cracks. Now, we absolutely cannot monitor every single thing that's happening, you know, in every home. But with all this, we should always try. You know, this is unfortunate, and it is sad beyond belief. Right there is a number that all you've got to do, if you see a situation that you only suspect that there's a problem, you just happen to feel bad about it, call that number. Call that number. For abuse and neglect, please call that number. 1-800-352-6513. Please call it. Because at the end of the day, the great thing about West Virginians is we look after one another. As far as individuals that could be dismissed or whatever, that investigation is ongoing. There's a good part of it that I'm not supposed to tell, but I tell you over and over and over, everything I know. Everything I know. I instruct our people that we're going to be transparent, and if somebody's done something wrong, they'll pay for it. That's all there is to it. So at the end of the day, though, you know, it's just like this. You know, let's just say that somebody loses their job because of something that they've done which was not correct. At the end of the day, we've lost a little 14-year-old girl. In all honesty, we can't bring her back, and it's terrible. We got to do better. We got to do better all across the board. And so, you know, to me, it's not good enough. It's not good enough that, you know, until we never have a situation like this ever. But that's really tough. So that's all I've got right now.
All right, thanks, Leslie. Next, we'll go to Amelia Nicely with West Virginia Watch.
Hi, Governor. Thank you for your answer to Leslie's question. And I have a follow-up to that. It sounds like you're having conversations with DOHS in this case. And I'm wondering if in those conversations you've talked about the PATH system. This is a database that CPS uses for case management at DOHS. And lawmakers have said that the implementation of this database is still incomplete. And I'm wondering if there are case management problems that could have impacted DOHS trying to locate Kennedy Miller's file. So I'm just wondering if that has come up at all in your conversations about this case.
It's come up, and I can tell you that, and it's what I tried to just explain, there will be real improvements that will be made, but it still can't help Kennedy. And really and truly, it's tragic beyond belief. And sure, we will absolutely make improvements and clean up deficiencies. But more than anything, what we need to do is, you know, if an officer went into an office and reported and there was no follow-up, nothing else happened, you know, what we've got to do is the officer's got to stand on the highest rock on the top of the mountain and scream loud enough to where something does happen. You know, and the same thing for the neighbor, and the same thing for the relative, and the same thing for all of us, you know, until we make sure that this never happens again.
Thank you, Amelia. Next, we'll go. Oh, sorry, Governor.
No, go ahead. Oh, well, I do want to add one other thing. And the officers have training in this, but the officers have got to use that 800 number as well. It's there for all of us. I'm not making light of the fact that the officer says he went in the building and made the report. Well, for crying out loud, if that be the case, you would have to think, well, what else could I do? But at the end of the day, there's my dad would have always grabbed a hold of me and said, there's always something else you can do.
Alrighty, thank you, Amelia. Next, we'll go to Emily Rice with West Virginia Public Broadcasting.
Hi, Governor. I wanted to ask along the same line of questioning. What is your response to allegations from Disability Rights of West Virginia's notice of suit and cease and desist demand against yourself, state officials, and the DOHS, alleging violation of policy, concealment of documents, and the allegation of threats and retaliatory measures given the behavior of your own staff this week?
Well, first of all, I don't know the allegation about threats or whatever, but I want to tell everybody that works in any capacity for me and this government in any way that I want you to always be 100% transparent on anything. And nobody is going to come back on you for anything, if you're just being transparent and telling the truth. And I want you to always do that. From the standpoint of the lawsuit against me, well, people can do that if they choose, but there's no champion ever that's going to champion more transparency and trying to do goodness and help our kids and look after our kids than myself. And I'll promise you to God above in every way, if I would have known anything at all, you'd all know it. And so from the standpoint, if someone wants to sue me, well, I guess they end up suing me. But more than that, I don't know what else to say.
All right, thanks, Emily. Next, we'll go to Curtis Johnson with WSAZ.
Good afternoon, Governor, as always. And of course, obviously, I'm very interested in this child neglect case too. Governor, your department says it has never received an abuse neglect referral relating to the death of Kennedy Miller. And that previous cases from 2009 and 2017 have nothing to do with the death of this young lady. Despite that, your secretary tells me there is nothing with this kid's name on it in her agency. But as you know, that flies in the face of what state police and a whistleblower have told me. They all claim records exist showing this girl needed help. West Virginia State Police even says it stands behind its records that a trooper made a referral. And like Leslie, we have information indicating that state trooper delivered that referral in person to the Boone County office. Now, Governor, setting terminology aside, simply put, is there any record in the CPS system with Kennedy's name on it indicating that she needed help? And if not, what is your response to state police who stand behind their records? And a whistleblower who says the 17 case listed Kennedy as a specific child enduring mental and emotional abuse.
Curtis, it would be really easy for me to be critical of the fact that we want to get on television and make a big scene of something that I think is tragic beyond belief. This investigation has got to go on, Curtis. It has got to go on, and really and truly, all I think I can do in trying to answer your questions is risking the investigation, and I'm not going to do that. I will tell you with all in me that we are all over the investigation. And first and foremost, I care about proper justice for Kennedy. And really in all of that, I want to ensure that we don't mess up the case and screw up everything, to try to answer your question right now. I can't do that. As much as I'd like to be 1,000% transparent on everything, I can't do that. And so with all that, I would just say, please, let's keep our focus on what we should. We lost a little 14-year-old girl. We absolutely need and want to make the system better, the reporting better, the calling better. We want to do all of that stuff. At the same time, if somebody's done something wrong, the investigation will prove that out. And when that proves out, you know me well enough to know what I'll do. Absolutely, you know me. I mean, for crying out loud, go back to Jan Cahill. Go back to whatever you want to go back to. You know me. But I've got to let the investigation play its way out. I hate it, but that's exactly what I got to do.
Thank you, Curtis. Governor, I'll turn it back to you.
Well, there's a lot of tough things here, and I know that this beautiful little girl, the tragedy that's happened, beyond belief, to Kennedy is really on everyone's mind, and it should be. And I don't begrudge that in any way. All I would say to you is just this: there's no point in running through the woods, cutting people's heads off and everything that may not have been involved in any way. Let's just do it the way we ought to do it, and let's be fair, and let's be honest and everything. It's unbelievable to think that a mom or grandmom or whomever was there, would absolutely abuse, neglect, whatever, a child. I mean, it's just unthinkable. But we've got to let this process run its course. And I can assure you with all in me, from Jim Justice's standpoint, one thing I know in my soul: there's no way on the planet that I knew anything or there was anything more that Jim Justice could have brought to you. But if there are people that have done something wrong, the investigation will show that, and we'll deal with it. And we'll deal with it very harshly, because this is just not acceptable. That's all there is to it. That's all I've got. Please remember Bob Ashley in every way, and all those, especially at Memorial Day and the Vandalia celebration, is really important. And let me think if I've got anything else. All the good stuff that Kathy's doing with the dogs in the schools, really good. Remember Juneteenth, but more than anything that I can tell you, pray for this beautiful young lady, Kennedy Miller, and please keep Bob Ashley in your prayers, and be thankful, so thankful, to all those in the military, the National Guard, the job that they've done in our corrections, the job they do all the time. But please remember all those at Memorial Day. Thank you. That's all I've got.